Hello everyone, and welcome to the August 9th update for Strikeout. Over the past week I was doing quite a bit of modeling and animations and a little bit of programming. So that took the form of adding a manager model, and the manager will follow the player wherever they are currently walking. I created the bones of the starter and started to integrate the animation system for them. After that, I created the middle reliever, I modeled them and started to do the animations there, and I also took care of the setup and the closer. So I believe Chris refers to this as a ticking time bomb type of asset, where as it is right now, that's the way it's going to stay unless somebody else wants to come in and create some better looking ones. Once they were imported, I got the animations taken care of in both the overworld and the combat system, and I did some fine-tuning of that, got some bug testing done in the battle system, and then I began to work on the experience system, and I wrapped that up not too long ago. So I kind of want to take a gander at some of the models here. So here we have our middle reliever, and each player character currently has a set of animations. They have their base pose, they have their knocked down pose, they have an injured / a tired pose, they have like a taking damage pose. They have a running animation that's considered good because this one was not good. They have a coming set type of position in baseball. Then they have like a victory, like they completed the battle. They also have a wind-up animation, and each wind-up is different. So if we look at this individual for our middle reliever, we're already in the wind-up, so I'm going to go ahead and play that. So he comes set, and then he goes ahead and he throws it. So that is our middle reliever, and if I open up our setup reliever, he has a completely different wind-up pose. So I modeled all of these after professional baseball players. There are a couple of them that have some very characteristic types of wind-up positions. And let's dig out our closer here, and our closer was a neat one because he's also left-handed and he throws it in a submarine style, which is underhand. So I'll just sort of scroll through the other animations we have here. So we have a base pose here. We have a knocked down type of pose. We have an injured, like a laboring type of animation. We have like a getting hit animation. A type of running animation or a walk cycle. I'll close this down to 20 here so it loops. We have a coming set, so let's scale this one back out to 25. So that's like they're ready to throw. And then a victory is just a quick jump up in the air, and I'll scale this out to 30 here. Oops. 30. So we can see the full thing there. So each player has their own animation set, and I managed to get all of them integrated into the game. So let's take a gander at that now. There's Unity. So this is how the game is looking at the moment. We're going to press play here. Maybe. There we go. So all of the players have their own little walk cycle now. And the other playable characters will start to follow you, and they have their own animation. Then once they get within a certain distance, then they stop their movement. And if we come over here to our manager, if we're within a certain distance, he will start to follow us, or like his head will start to track us. And I'll try to loop around this way. So that's kind of neat. And then when we get into the battle system, come here, enemy. We have all of our animations integrated here, so all are currently in their set position. So our starter is right here, tying to the color. We have the middle reliever being in gold. We have the setup individual in this teal, and then we have our closer in this magenta / purple. So we're going to go ahead and do our pitches, and I've also integrated the current skill sets of the players. So right now, I believe the starter is the strongest in the curveball. So I'm going to select that, and I can scroll through our enemies here. I'm going to do confirm, and he's going to go into his wind up, and he's going to throw it, and then he's going to damage the enemy. Now an enemy is going to attack. Who's he going to attack? A setup, and so setup took some damage there. And now it's middle reliever's turn. I think he was good in the slider aspect of it. So we're going to go ahead and go there. And then who's he going to attack next? Another setup, and then once they're knocked out, then they go into this downed animation. And normally it would be the setup individual's turn, but since they're knocked down, then it skips their turn and it goes into the closer. So the closer, I think it's fastball here. So we're going to go ahead and do our pitch there. And then we get into this victory screen where all of them do their victory animation. We pop up with our victory slide, which should have the money gained, which I had to tear down in order to fix this. Our items, which I did not manage to integrate this weekend, as well as our experience system. So we have the experience that was gained during this fight, how much experience it requires to go to the next level, what level our players are currently at, and if they had a level up this time. So the setup individual was knocked down, so as a result they don't get any experience, so they didn't level up, but the other three did. So now we're going to go into our point buy system. So for the starter, let's increase their fastball. Let's increase their curveball twice. And then once the points equal 0, then it'll carry into the middle reliever. So let's put 1 into the slider, and we'll do 2 into agility. And now it skips over the setup because it didn't level up. And now we're into the closer. So we're just going to go full into the fastball there. And then once the stat pool is done, then it'll go back into the animation set. And I just kind of want to run back in here real quick to show you what the setups animation is. So if they don't get killed this time, hopefully, we'll see. So attacking the starter, starter's going to take some damage, and the middle reliever will go here. And now enemy, please do not hit the setup, hit the starter. Okay, I can live with that. So now our setup individual, I think he was good in the change-ups. We're going to come over here, and this is his pitching animation. And then it kills them there. And then we also have like a laboring type of animation if they're below 20% total health. So we'll go ahead and finish this up here. So this took quite a bit of work to get through, but everything's working and everything's totally fine, I hope. So now everybody survived, so everybody got to do the level up here. And we're going to go back into our point buy system. Just going to keep going here. And then we're going to return to the base. And now we can also check out that the stats carried forward into the base game. So that is the game update for the week. So now if we take a look at the Trello board, I've already cleared out this week, so we're looking at next week. The big objectives are going to be creating the inventory system, as well as some original enemies, some minor league batters, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. I also want to get some camera following around in the dungeon, some different enemy attacks. Currently they only have one attack that they can do. I also want to knock out some enemy weaknesses, so if a certain batter is weak to curveball, then it does more damage to them. And then I want to start to work on some Concord assets, as well as adding some enemies to that glowing ball that we have right there. I might get to some UI cleanup, some out of energy conditions, and some writing, but this is going to be a rather heavy week, so if anybody would like to jump in, I will be more than happy to take some help on it. And that is the August 9th update for Strikeout.